Alright, welcome back to something a little bit different. This is GT Sport. More specifically, this is FTRL GT Sport. Now, I've spoken more so on the podcast about wanting a different challenge and to get into sim racing side a bit more. And maybe that could be true on the PC side down the line. But for now, we're better than to get involved in FTRL's GT Sport division, I guess, league. I had done a little bit of running at their last event, the week before last at it wasn't Fuji. It was I can't remember where it was, what track it was, but got the call up then for this week to give it a go and be able to give it a go for the rest of the season. And so this is where we are. The reason for wanting to do it is I've just wanted a different challenge, a fresh challenge. And it's been, I guess, reinvigorating playing an actual racing sim, unlike, I would say, F1. And I've been really enjoying the challenge of this so far. Like, it really has been. It's been really cool. With the GT7, right around the corner. It's great time now to get into it and, to just get a taster, get on the ground level, and kind of go from there. So, really excited to do more of this. You'll be seeing more Gran Turismo content coming up as well throughout the weeks, and this will probably replace F1 for a bit. Certainly, at least until F1 22 comes out. Because I'm not 100% sure if I'm coming back for F1 FTRL next season, but I could tell you I want to do more of this. So I guess for context on the format and the such, we're using Group 4 cars. This is a Subaru WRX. It is one that Aaron recommended. Shouts to Aaron for helping me along the way with tips on how to get a little quicker, and a good car here. This is a 4-wheel drive car, so I'm feeling very stable with this. I'm not especially quick, but it's stable, and more than anything, that's all I want really at this stage, is something to find a bit of consistency while I kind of learn the ropes a bit. And my best time is the Tsukuba circuit. So I've raced this track before in Forza Motorsport 2, so I'm familiar with it. Obviously, a little bit more difficult to drive now, I would say, than then, but it's a track I am familiar with, at least in theory. I've done the short version and the long version many, many times on Forza 2 on the Xbox. But I haven't done it in GT Sport, so we're kind of getting up to speed here. Under sub 60-second lap times, I never got to do anything in the 55-second range. 56, I was able to knock on the door a few times. I think my quickest was a 56.2 or something. Looking at this again, I'm sure, and maybe if you're looking at this for the first time, the braking is what I'm kind of struggling with, I guess, and the downshifting, I would say. As well as it took me ages to get used to the idea that most corners here are full lock. I'm not used to going full lock and, on F1 and the such, so it's just the adjustment period between the two. Obviously, with these being the aerodynamics being obviously just so much less here than obviously in F1. So it's just getting used to that and that kind of thing. I'm running cockpit mode because I feel a bit comfortable in it. And if GT7 supports VR online, then this is where I want to be in that as well. So most people run dash, or the hood, the bonnet cam. I prefer the sounds inside, and I can see enough here anyways, and the proximity radar is quite good on this, so I kind of know where kind of drivers are. Anyways, we did some improvements towards the end of the session, and I think this is an improvement here. This is the end of qualifying. So the format here is a 7-minute qualifying session followed by 3:20. Oh, so that was my PB, and I don't think I was able to improve. I'm not too sure. I did improve. Oh no, sorry, that was my last lap. I didn't improve. It's a 7-minute qualifying session followed by 3 20-minute races. The qualifying is in the grid for the race 1. The top 7 are reversed for race 2, and the whole grid is reversed for race 3. So this was always going to be the race that probably highlighted my lack of pace. And Sway's joining the journey here as well, so he's behind me. I left the music on for this. I probably shouldn't have. I might try and turn it off next next week perhaps, or this week rather. Anyways, I'm just really interested to try and learn the starts and like racecraft side by side. I was just worried about if I would kind of hit anyone by accident or, you know. So we're just going to try and take it nice and easy. Sway didn't get the start. I think I got massively hit into by someone on the side there, I think, trying to avoid him. But really, we're just looking to just get laps in. We'll get plenty of them in with 20 minutes and just try and keep it in a straight line and see what happens. You know, just we'll get quicker as the kind of event goes on because, you know, when you do so many laps of this, I mean, by the time we were done with this on the night, you know, we've logged, I'd say, over 60 laps. That corner went a bit deep. Again, racing is one thing, but when you're racing someone else side by side, it's you know, it's a different kind of learning, you know, where to give space and all that kind of stuff. If I had VR, I'd be able to look a bit more to my right and, you know, to the mirrors in my left. I can just about see the mirror on the left. Again, I'm mostly relying on the rear view mirror up above and the proximity radar, which again alerts you to when someone is literally right there and not beforehand. So there's look, to a degree there's still a bit of guesswork, and I can't look right, so to speak, because there's a chair blocking it. My view right and left, maybe not so much left, maybe more so right, but a bit of contact there. So some of these names are familiar that I would have raced at some point. So Mikey then runs a bit wide there. We can move up into P9. So again, just kind of settling into affairs and yeah, just seeing what happens really. I was gonna say lap 8, but really, like, it doesn't. The laps don't matter. It's the time here. So we've got 12 minutes to go. I got a little bit hit there, I think, by Mikey. That pushed me a little bit wide, but he was later on the brakes than I was, and I left the door open, so he's going to go through there. So like you know, you get a general sense, like, you know, obviously the car's a little bit, you know, in some cases a little bit wider than an F1 car. It really depends. Like, it's arguably maybe actually a little slimmer, because I think F1 cars are 2 meters wide, and I don't know how wide some of these cars are, but it's just, yeah, I guess it's just learning to race with less downforce and that kind of thing. But you can get away with a bit more contact because obviously you don't have to worry about wing damage or anything like that. I got side by side with Mikey there, who had an off, but I couldn't make the move. Again, I'm just learning the ropes with side by side racing and the such, and braking zones, and I'm still learning turn-ins and throttle pickups, etc. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. So if you have any tips for that, or seeing anything that I'm losing drastic time, I mean, please feel free to let me know. I'm not above finding, you know, not above flipping critique or whatever. Another off for Mikey then, bit of a mare for him this race. So we'll get back up to 9th. Sway's having a bit of a rough time. He's had a few spins at least. Maybe, look, again, 4-wheel drive will help a bit of stability, I think, compared to maybe a rear-wheel drive. The car's a bit more happy on the throttle, and we can get on the throttle pretty easily in this 4-wheel drive. So this is the end of race 1. Not too bad. We're going to finish 9th here. So once the flag hits 0, either you finish that lap or you finish the current lap you're on, essentially. So we're going to finish 9th, which is grand. Like, everything I wanted to do, I did this race, which is not spin, get a feel for like the starts and when the cars are running a little bit closer together. We missed out on reverse pole, obviously, with being 7th, but I feel like we'll have more opportunity to do that in the future. So again, just getting the experience under the belt is big. So this is race 2, so top 7 on reverse. This doesn't mean anything for me because I'm finishing 9th still. But again, I've just had 20 minutes of going around and I guess learning that little bit more. I can't remember. I can't remember what my qualifying time was versus my best time of the night. Running a special Persona themed livery that I made myself. Not the most amazing livery, but it's we'll get better, I'm sure, as well. Getting a little bit more idea on the starts here. Hold the brake, and then when it goes, boom. Decent start. But again, lap 1 situation is already interesting no matter what racing game you're playing. So just fill into the space. A lot of there'll be a lot of crossover. A lot of crossover from F1 to this as well in terms of, you know, just in terms of car placement and awareness to a degree. But again, you are going to be learning a little bit. It is very different, so it's not the exact same, and I wouldn't expect it to be exact same. So I have to treat it very differently until I get the hang of it. So Nice Hop McGee in front, but nice line on the outside here for this hairpin. Bit of a squeeze, but we'll just try and fill the space, and then try and get on the power. So we're in P9, try and get a run on Houdini here. I think I lacked, supposedly the best car for this track was the Renault. Subaru I don't think was as good here maybe as in other tracks that have been around on the calendar. So, at least from my understanding. It certainly seemed when I watched GT1, this is GT2, this is the second tier of FTRL's GT division. This is GT2. GT1 is of course the premiere for FTRL. So I was watching that, and the Renault, those Renaults looked really rapid. Really wide there on the exit of that. I think it's going to like sway to pull alongside. You can see him to the left hand side. Okay, proximity radar is really good for this. I can't get a glimpse, and then the rear view mirror there, I can see when he's behind, I can slot back in. So yeah, just picking up on some of those small bits and bobs. Still to learn, I guess, with turn in and throttle pickup and what to do and when to do it, etc. I run a bit wide there, but there's a bit of carnage in front. This race 2 gave me a lot more experience, I guess, on the back of cars in a train. Around this track, apparently it's ridiculously hard to overtake, and well, everything I saw on the stream replays afterwards seemed to indicate that was very much the case. Apparently like a go-kart track, so except I'm more familiar with passing and go-karts than anything else. I believe this is when Houdini has an off here, and it's going to offset him a bit into this hairpin. We're not close enough to the pack to overtake him, and again, no real. You can get slipstream, but it's not very long straight. But he's going to go deep with his, I guess, his grassy tires. So this move was very satisfying. That last corner is quite challenging. I didn't always get it right, but I guess when you learn it, it's you have a rhythm for it. Like, it's all about rhythm. Like, I'm still learning that, and it'll be a while before I get on top of that. And I don't expect to be. I'm not very competitive here right now, but like I can catch up by virtue of other people having offs, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. We've got just under. We're in P8 with just under 3 minutes to go. A big collision there between a switchback and there's Junkie Sport. We could buy 2 of those thanks to the ghosting system. Then, so we're in P6 with over 2.5 minutes to go. And I know those guys are quicker behind me, so. Again, we're going to the time and not the lap counter. So lap 21, we've got just under a minute left. So this should be my last lap of the race. Adam has an off somewhere, I'm not too sure where. But he's had an off somewhere, and he's struggling on this last lap here. And goes off again, so we're going to nip by as well. I've got a bit of a train behind me, and not to be expected. But anyways, last lap. One more hairpin to negotiate. It's been a good. The pace was a bit better at this race than the last one, as you might expect. But just hanging, just being close enough to be in the mix when people had mistakes. And Aaron, who was, I think, leading the race, decided to pull over and just let people through. So after 21 laps and 20 minutes, it's going to be a P4, a very clean P4. So, and a PB at the end there with a 56.5. So the lap time not amazing, but we're just. We are just getting up to speed here. So, anyways, I was actually super glad of that for 2 reasons. One, it's a really good result, but second, then with the full grid reverse, I'm not too far up the front, so I don't have to feel that too much pressure. That the extra stress that would come with being closer to the front, like a third or a second or whatever the case may be, a fourth. So, I was quite happy to be. I think I start 7th or 8th. I think I start 7th because I think Aaron wasn't racing this race 3. So, not too far up, and Sway was 4th. So I wouldn't want to be in Sway's shoes there because you got a lot of quicker drivers behind. Anyways, though, here we go. Race 3 of 3. And again, we're going to have we're actually going to get a really good start here. So good, in fact, that I believe. I can't see him, and I think it's Mikey in front that got such a better start. I had to get off the throttle and avoid hitting into the back of Mikey. That really good start, or was it Junkie Sport? No, sorry, it was Mikey. That really good start actually ended up screwing me because I had to get the hell out of Dodge. I couldn't really carry a lot of my momentum into turn 1 there. But we're still running side by side here with Jonesy. I went deep here though. I didn't go full lock for enough of the corner, and I lost the rest of the places there. So we're in 10, so that was annoying. That initial getaway was really good, but the rest of the start after that kind of just didn't hold. So obviously Wesker won. I believe Wesker won race 2, so he's starting at the back. So he's got some pace to burn. He's got up to speed with this game quite quickly, to be fair. As has a few others as well. I'm not the only one that has made this transition to GT recently. So look, other people have had the same thought I've had. I've been having to for a change. Anyways, lap 1, nothing too much to say here. Again, I want to work better on having better pace, so I don't fall off the pack, so to speak, and be in the mix when things go awry up front or whatever the case is, or someone has an off. You can see Mikey a little bit wide there heading through the last corner, just exploring down the inside, not too much in terms of attacking this race, in these 3 races, because I don't have the pace to be held up by someone, so to speak. So I don't have that experience kind of getting through some cars. It's a big log jam here, big log jam. It's trying to, this is the experience in traffic, reactionary, and what you do, and where do you go when a lot of cars are squabbling in such close proximity. This is obviously very different to what it would be in F1. So he's trying to find your line through. I had to get in the brakes there because Jonesy had a bit of a coming together. So we're still in 10th, we're still at the back, but anyways, we're here. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of cars in front, and as long as you're here, I feel like you're in some sort of mix, even if you can't overtake here. But again, finding a nice line, or nicer line, through that last corner, and Jonesy seems to be struggling a little bit. I'm a little bit later on the brakes initially. Again, just trying to find your exit points, and it's tough to peel together consistency. I feel like I got better as the races went on, consistently into the 56s, with 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 tenths at best off of my worst, maybe off of my PBs, at times. Where are we? We're 14 minutes in. This is lap 6. The gear shifting, I know I need to improve on in terms of my deceleration, then braking and gear change. A bit of contact between Mikey and Jonesy. I then made a little bit of contact with Jonesy, so I wanted to give him the wide berth. I went a little bit too wide. I didn't put enough steering lock then to get myself on that corner to not go into the grass. And then coming into this hairpin, I picked up the throttle a little too soon. I just didn't keep the lock far enough down and go into the grass, and that's going to allow Jonesy back through. That was actually one of the few mistakes I made on the event. Now, people who were watching the stream thought I made a lot of mistakes later, but what actually happened, why I fell away in race 3, was for completely different reasons. Do you remember back in F1 2020, and I think it happened sometime this game, where my game randomly zoomed in on an F2 race? It did it. I hadn't had that problem for a long time, but I go into the brakes here, and boom!
Oh my god!
It just zooms in. Like my wheel is turning and such, but I can't pause the game.
Zoomed in.
I have no control over. I can't pause it. I have no idea what's going on. Eventually, I pressed the home button, and eventually it popped out of it. But it's happened a number of times, man. It's happened not so many times, but it's happened a number of times. I just didn't expect to happen there. So that's what happened to me in race 3. I didn't spin or have a mistake. My game just decided to randomly zoom in. It's not like you press square and PlayStation Home. That's what it was like. It's like you do that, but I don't press this. I'm not pressing the square button. I'm braking. So I don't know. It was very strange. Mikey, I believe, he left. He moved over and left after that. So, anyways, race 3 was obviously very uneventful for that reason. So we just try to work on the consistency and just a nice clean track in front, just to do that. So my lap times are there. They were fine. PB on the last lap there as well for good measure. So I think it was a 56.4, so we got there anyways. Difficult race 3 obviously, but race 2 was really good, and yeah, just getting to experience this a little bit more and yeah, just learning. And if you have any tips, feel free. Maybe my competitors won't want to give any tips because like where I might pass them sooner. But anyways, and that's going to do it for this week of GT Sport. Next track, I believe, is Kyoto. So I'm interested to see what that track is about. I think I remember it, but only very vaguely. But interested to see how I get on in week 2 of this of my GT Sport journey. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and until next time.